So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Gotta get my 5 million layers of windows here. I'm sorry to hear that. It always sucks to lose a friend. Okay. So, as we left off here, place. Yeah. I think. Oh, I remember now. I was gonna split because there were choices. Never mind, we were over here. I just remembered about that. So, we did do these two choices and nothing different happened, really, so... I'm not sure if that's gonna be really significant, so... It's tough to trust people. Let's see, and we did watch that, I remember that. So, it looks like we're all good to move forward. Trust is a hard thing to earn, and trust is a easy thing to shatter in the bit, sadly. It's a fresh morning. Life is breathing, as we panic about dying every day. That's kind of how I view it in a way. Like, it's hard to probably earn my trust really well, but I think at the end of the day, if you can't trust anyone in life, then you're just kind of setting yourself down to absolute misery. It's a tricky situation. Oh yeah, because we altered fate. We ended up having a different course of conversation. He's a mind-bending puzzle. It's a question of which version of her. Why is she here? She very rarely comes to the version. I don't think it's wise to the wish ill on most people. I understand things can be painful, but I think there's like a certain line of like it's a very rare thing for me to wish ill on someone. Like I actually ironically did it yesterday because for anyone who didn't know, the arsonist who attacked the studio that made the Dragon Maid anime, they got sentenced to life. And well, to be fair, like I was like, you know what? I don't usually say this, but I hope they burn in hell. Like I reserve that kind of thing for like really terrible things. I understand, like, getting wronged and stuff is obviously more painful than someone else's problems, but I try not to make a habit of wishing ill for more frivolous things, if that makes sense. And, like, I don't know the full context of your situation. I'm not asking for it. So maybe there is something I don't really know. When the awesomeness thing happened, yeah, it's been a few years. I mean, it's been, what, 3-4 years since that happened? I think it was near the beginning of COVID, wasn't it? So it's been, like, probably, like, 3 years. But yeah, he's officially been sentenced to death. He's gonna die. They're gonna kill him. For anyone that doesn't know, death sentence still exists in Japan, so, yeah. Yeah, and, you know, I'm imagining it's very personal and stuff, and I would imagine you wouldn't want to. That's why I'm saying, like, I'm not asking for it. I'm just saying, like, you have to be, like, a really horrible person for me to wish ill. Like, there are people I hate, like Anita Sarkeesian and Adam from X-Play. Like, that dude's became pure cancel. But, like, I don't wish death or anything upon them. Oh, the contrary, I wish Adam would seek, like, actual psychiatry help. Why is my... My chat thing is not scrolling properly. Yeah, that was his reason for attacking. He claimed that they stole his ideas. But, I mean, and even if that was true... Like, he involved people who very likely had absolutely nothing to do with it. Like, I mean, I imagine that would be, like, 1 or 2, like, higher-up people, not, like, the Italian studio. Like, that's some really moronic logic. But yeah, it's one of the worst things that happened in Japan in a long time. Like, Japan does not see these kind of things very often. But, yeah. You know, like, if, I don't know if you saw my part in the Christmas video, that's why, like, when I said, like, it's really hard to be the better person in a lot of things, it really is. Like, I really meant that. Like, it is very hard to grit your teeth and know that you want to be the better person against people who are terrible. And that's kind of what I mean, like, you know, like, if, like I said, I don't know the situation, but I find it hard to imagine it would be something to, like, they need to die kind of deal of hatred. I mean, that kind of thing happens all the time, though, is the sad thing. I mean, that happened with Zootopia, actually. For a lot of people who don't know, there was some guy who bought an idea that was supposedly, like, really similar to Zootopia, and then Disney made Zootopia, and then he's kind of like, what the fuck? Because he went there to pitch the idea, and he did a big lawsuit thing with them, and I'm not really sure how that ended up. I'm not sure if he got compensated or just been told that, nah, it's different enough. See, sadly, like, that kind of situation, bringing your idea to a studio, is really risque these days. Because a lot of times all they have to do is just change a bunch of shit, and they'd be like, oh, nope, I don't know anything about it. Be in charge of the planning committee. Oh, what the hell? Also, we've changed back to the main character's perspective. So what are you up to, Leo? You walking at home today? Uh-oh. Hosting the auction. Well, I have to admit, that sounds like the perfect job for him, to be honest. Oh, you're welcome to chat here. I like to be pretty free and open about chat. Obviously, you have to follow Twitch guidelines and just be well behaved, but like, I like to think I'm pretty open about everyone talking about things. A lot of people like to just lock down everything. Nope, no, this or this or this or this. And I get that sometimes, because, you know, like, especially if you have a really big community, you get some people who get really heated in certain topics, but... Homework. Man, who knew playing a pilot stabbing game would have changed the timeline's events so much? Wonder what auctions with video games are like these days. You know, like the old days, a lot of people could get like a lot of stuff auctioned, like, you know, Power video games, and you'd have a bunch of people like, eh. You got so many people who do reselling and shit nowadays. I imagine that's not really easy to do nowadays. You probably have so many resellers hop on like the bandwagon, like, yeah, I'll take it. Beal fund? That does explain why she's into alcohol, though. Like, mentally, she's so old. See, that's how you play the game. Uh-oh. Hey, Dan. Welcome to more people dying. Maybe. I mean, maybe they'll get a happy ending this time. I don't really expect it. I mean, there's a whole 8th chapter, so, like, I don't know what they're gonna do for an 8th chapter if they resolve things in this one. Also, since our perspective changed, we can't see our newest character either. Uh-oh. Don't ask for everyone to be in maid outfits. Too good to be true. Oh no, why are you here? Are you here for the trolling? Or are you here for the drama? Maybe you're here for Pokemon with guns. Uh-oh. A Deluxe Award. Three years of all the diabetes candy I want. So weird seeing the twin sister heal. Wow, have you literally heard nothing about that? Wow, talk about living under a rock for like a week. Holy shit. That's like been trending on everything so much that people are just muting it. Like I've seen so many people I follow just like, I'm muting this, I'm sick of it, everyone shut up, don't ever mention it around me again. Wow, somebody's really been living under a rock when it comes to the internet. How, like, have you even looked at YouTube in the last week? Like, holy crap. I need whatever Dan has next time if something gets leaked and I'm worried about spoilers. It's not that I don't follow trends, it's more like that's what all the gaming community has been dramatizing and fucking just non-stop talking about. Hell, I'm surprised MatPat hasn't fucking made some kind of game theory on it at this point, considering how much clickbaity it is. If I do a video on it, it's gonna probably talk about, like, all the, like, accusation stuff people keep throwing at it. Otherwise, I don't really have much to say about it unless I finish it. I have been playing it. A bunch of my VR friends got it, so I've been playing it with them some. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but it's a little interesting spin to the kind of survival, exploring open world kind of thing. Magic! But yeah, there's an indie-ish game that came out on sale for $27, but it's normally $30. I think it's supposed to go back to its normal price in a few more days, I think, but like yesterday it sold 8 million copies now, so like it's selling pretty like hotcakes. No, I did see a very funny picture related to Power World, though. You know how, like, Sonic made Shadow the Hedgehog with guns? Like, I saw somebody, like, it's a picture of a cell phone with the headline, Pokemon with guns sells 8 million copies in 6 days. And then it has, like, a picture of Shadow slumping in a chair with a gun in his hand. It's like, oh, that's hilarious, because, you know, that game bombed. What the heck? This is going to change the timeline, exactly. I don't know how you've avoided that. Like, it's all over the YouTube. Hell, even those, you ever see those President AI things? Like, just yesterday, they started doing that with that game, too. Oh my goodness, there's so many horrible political jokes in it, too. I watched, like, 10 minutes of it. I'm just, oh lord, they're really digging into this. So I wonder who we're gonna have to worry about becoming paranoid in this timeline. See, we had the plushie incident thing, so that would mean this timeline was starting out like 2 and 5. But right now we see both twins. So far, like, she hasn't done a swap or anything yet. Yeah, they're both present right now, so obviously if a swap thing happens in this timeline too. So as long as we see both of them, I don't think we need to worry about the twin sister, but if we start only seeing one, we might want to be a little cautionary. I'll make the greatest auction in the world! Also, a sealed copy of Super Mario Bros. For whatever amount of money that was with that one, like, graded site nobody trusts. I swear they just sell the, like, launder money around. Money launderers have entered the game industry by laundering whale games. The painting world became too corrupt, so now they're entering video games. Oh no. No, there's actually worse sites than Limited One Games. I mean, at least I actually get my stuff for Limited One Games. What's that? Dispatch. Dispatch Games is still holding up like 3 titles. And they physically have shown they actually have one title in their possession. But they've yet to get any of those sent out. And then there was Wano Games that never sent anything out. I mean, at least Dispatch actually had several games that did come out before they fell apart. That's because they pumped... So, here's the negative things that affect Limited One Games. First problem is they do too much shit at one time. They do way too much shit at one time. The second problem is because they've almost completely became pre-order versus when they had limited stock. So when they had limited stock, they usually always had them printed. You know, they'd print like, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000 copies, and they always have them in hand and shit. So like in older days, that's why they actually usually like shipped out in a more timely manner before they became almost exclusively pre-order with only a few rare exceptions that aren't. And that's one of the main reasons that affects this, is because since they're doing pre-orders, they're waiting for the pre-orders to end, see how many copies they need, and then work from there. Because they obviously need to buy enough copies to cover the people that ordered, and then on top of that, they have to deal with the number system that said system console does. Because they might have to like round it up to get like, because they're not going to be on even numbers. And then another problem they have is their priority list. So like with the Persona 3 Portable and that, so those are a high priority. People who exclusively ordered Persona 3 Portable by itself, those are already apparently shipping out. Like those were frontline top priority make things. Then you get some lesser titles that don't sell as well, so they become a not something they're too concerned about getting out the door quickly. So it becomes a low priority, and like there was like that what was it, Five Guys Date or something? It's some one of those motion video game things. Apparently, that had such a low amount of orders, like that one got delayed for a very long time, to the point where people were like, well, where the fuck is my game? Now, if you do what I do and you order all that stuff together on top of all that, you're looking at like at least a year minimum. Going to be looking a bit. Not going on eBay. What's not going on eBay? What? What the hell are you talking about? Can I get a quote on what you're referring to exactly? What about physical copies? We are talking about physical copies. But who mentioned anything about eBay? I didn't mention eBay. Like, I'm confused where eBay came from. I mean, of course all this shit shows up on eBay. You got scalpels and shit that are trying to make money. You're talking about with like the excess copies. You're talking about the conspiracy theories, like because they usually have to round up the pre-orders, so they have excess copies. So so those and I think you misheard something. You need to give me more context of what you're referring to. I think you misheard something. Anyway, so the conspiracy of eBay. So there has been a conspiracy that there are employees that have been putting stuff on StockNet, and that actually happened actually very recently. So I don't know if Dan knows about this. So today, the quote-unquote last 3DS title Limited One Games has, the Shantae's Pirates course came out on the website. Don't know if it's sold out yet. I'm sure scalpers all clamoring at their hands for them. But before that was even announced, those were showing up on eBay. And people were wondering for a few weeks, like, where the fuck did these all come from? So, Josh from Limited One Games announced, like, after they announced that they were going to be selling copies, that a quote-unquote rogue employee who stole copies put them on eBay, and they had to get law enforcement involved in that. Now, I don't know if that's all true, or just an excuse, or, like, and that's not the first time that kind of stuff's happened. Like, several of Limited One stuff have showed up on eBay before and after things. And then, of course, you get stuff like the whole thing with, what's that game called? Revenge of the Board King? that whole thing was a whole mess of its own right too. So I mean, there was this rabbit hole about the possibility of people in limited one games doing eBay sales and that, but there isn't a ton of evidence on that, so I'm not like obviously saying like that's all true and stuff, but it is conversational things that people have brought up before. Pokemon, well, it's so much drama because there's people who want Nintendo to sue them. There's people arguing about whether or not it infringes Pokemon. Like it's insane drama discourse that is just kind of sad, to be honest. Like, I mean, it's so bad. The people harassed Nintendo to the point where the Pokemon Company made an official statement. They basically said, like, oh yeah, well, if there's something wrong, we'll do something. I mean, the game has been in development for like 2 years. Nintendo has been very well known for usually snipping shit in the bud the second it's like announced. So it's kind of hard to imagine they never noticed this thing, and it's like impossible to imagine they didn't notice it at all over the several days it came out. Like, but yeah, it's all like a pretty weird mess. But yeah, eBay's loaded with limited one game shit. Like, mostly from scalpers. Like, it's such a it's such a horrible thing. Like, I understand getting a little bit money of that, like, but it's just crazy how many, and hell, it's so common to see shit go up. Like, you're not supposed to list stuff on eBay if it's not in your hands. The last time I ever read the terms of service, at least. And people do it all the fucking time. But yeah, I think when it comes to regards to like the time frame of releasing shit, limited one games is a pretty big business now. Uh-oh. What was that? Okay. Camera's still working. Game still capturing? Yeah. Not sure what the hell that was. I swear I hate Windows 10. I hate Windows 10 so much. Why is it such a piece of shit? I really hate it. Anyway, though, what I think limited one game should do at this point, they're a big enough company at this point now. I think what they should do is they should preemptively print a certain amount of copies to cover people who are only either buying that game or a very small amount of games. And that way, people like Dan, who are usually just buying a game or two instead of like most of the stuff they're putting out, will get their game in a more timely manner. And then people like me, who usually bundle all the crap together and usually wait a year, you know, I have to wait for everything to be done anyway, so I don't need to be in that higher priority of the initial copies they made. Now, the reason they don't do that is because obviously they would have to spend a little bit more money to make initial copies, and then make more copies for whatever the amount that get ordered. And obviously, they're clearly tightening the ship on money. I would probably hate Windows 11 even more. I miss Windows 7. My previous computer was Windows 7. Didn't have any problems with it. Windows 10 continuously hates me. Like, I don't even understand why the camera thing stopped working when it did, like, about a quarter into Elden Ring. Like, it's so annoying how many things keep being a problem on this piece of shit. Yeah, I know Leo's just dying to watch this anime again. Probably counting down the days of me getting closer and closer to getting this done. So cute! But yeah, I think that's what Limited One should do. Yeah, remember when everyone dreaded upgrading the Windows 7? And that's gonna happen to Windows 10. Everyone's gonna be like, oh man, I miss Windows 10. Because each new iteration keeps being worse. I mean, it gets to like its near end life where it's like finally like stable and shit, and then they make another piece of shit they want you to go to. Hey, you know there's a reason Windows 11's free, right? I remember when they were like, oh, Windows 11's only going to be free your first year, and other than that, you're going to have to pay. And here we are several years later. Still free. I wonder why. But yeah, Limited One Games has became a very bloated company. The only thing they do really good for us at this point is because they're really big and have big connections, they get stuff like the recent Konami shit and stuff like that. And I mean that's good for that kind of stuff. But it's just a shame they continuously like don't really improve on what the problems are. Which is ironic with this whole purple dot thing that happened recently. Canned food. I hope it doesn't have humans in it. But yeah, the Rocket Knight thing is actually a really exciting announcement, to be honest. Though it's kind of a shame they didn't get to squeeze in that 360 game in there. I bet they got their eyeballs on it, though. Go on. Well, she did more than like a good chunk of the town. Oh no. Yes, you're eating people. But yeah, Limited One Games does have really bad, like, delivery time and stuff. And I think the two things I think that Limited One Games really needs to improve on: delivery time and EU. Like, for anyone who doesn't know, like, people in the EU who want games from Limited One Games either pay a shit ton of money or go through so many hoops and shit to try and somehow get at a reasonable price. Because the shipping to overseas is fucking awful as hell. And then they have to deal with all that, what do they call it? Duty tax or whatever? Ugh. And like, basically for years, I mentioned it in my newest video, but for years, you know, they've been talking about this EU warehouse. And what do we get? We get Purple Dot taking PayPal away. This is what everyone wanted, right? Strip PayPal from the system. No, they said they're trying to bring PayPal to this system, but I don't understand. Why would they fucking go to this new system and not just, like, wait for it to have it, then go to this new system? It just... It kind of boggles my mind why the fuck they would do that. Uh-oh, he's having memories again. Seems like he's, like, having a chilled memory about the little pin. Well, that makes it kind of hard to buy things online, don't you think, Dan? I mean, I use my money. It comes from my bank and that. I'm not using a credit card or Bitcoin or whatever other garbage there is. Eh. Uh-oh. Or is it? See, she's like, he's remembering again. Why does he keep remembering little tidbits from other timelines? Why now? Why? That's what I'm kind of curious. Why is he just magically remembering things? Oh yeah, I forgot. This is the claim thing for those free ones. I mean, that's basically what I do with PayPal. I just like using PayPal because if something happens, I just shut down PayPal. Because it's not that I have to, like... So, using your bank account, your bank card, if your bank card gets leaked, then you have to get a whole new card and go through all that kind of shit while trying to take care of everywhere it got leaked. if it's your PayPal, you can shut your PayPal down. You don't have to worry about the bank card info being leaked out, and then you just take care of whatever orders and that. An error. But see, if your bank card gets leaked out, then, you know, they just enter all those numbers into endless things. Plus, PayPal usually will pop up, you know, its security thing when it's being entered on a device that hasn't been entered on before. It's a memory from a distant timeline. Tell that to the bank and the bank card. Or the check. Like you've done it before. I've had a few whale instances like that lately that's starting to kind of freak me out. Like, wait a minute. It had to have happened. See, she obviously realizes he's having that same thing happening again. She's trying to get him to randomly probe about it. Be like, Brain! I want you to try, boy. You know it to be true. Yeah, because she's trying to break this cycle. Uh-oh. Oh no, he's getting nervous. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. So he's trying to say he had that whole thing just because of a comic? Hmm. Oh no. No. You wimp! Your friends will never kill you like that! Clearly they would just kick you in the groin until you die that way. Kind of weird that was all brought on because of a comic book. But I can't say there isn't any logic to it, because I can't say that I didn't have something like that when I was a kid. Didn't he say, like, in one of the timelines he regretted that? So, Chapter 1's events have been avoided. Chapter 2 and 5's events have been avoided. If the uncle doesn't come back to town, that shouldn't be a problem. We don't know if our dad is seeing that goal. Oh yeah, we joined the committee. Exponential. Okay, so they're still doing that. Uh-oh. She's like, uh-oh. I don't think that's why she was asking. Yeah, it's like the first time she's ever really discussed that with them. Uh-oh. I don't know, that's never stopped a lot of people. I mean, even I want to get out once in a while, you know? Oh no. And then? What did you do? Oh! Hey, she did her promise, like, to talk to her friends. Believe me, whatever you talked about was really good then. Now she's in charge of everything. Oh, believe me, I know where you would have been. Dream? And then I remember killing her and chopping them into bits. But it was all just a dream. So now she's seeing her past lives. Wait, what? Where the fuck did that come from? That's... What? I'm not even sure if I want to ask who she would have thought that was with. Hmm. She had a dream about her promise. So everyone's literally remembering things from the past, basically. See, I agree with that. I think it's healthy to talk about your problems with people. When you bottle all the emotion yourself, I would hope you don't get to the level they did, but I do feel like that's kind of an extreme version of what happens when you bottle it all up and just keep it thought to yourself. But still doesn't explain what the fuck's going on. Who keeps murdering the little priest? Is there an actual connection with all the mortals? They're just all unrelated. See, I'm thinking, because of the direction of the story, I'm thinking that the mortals might potentially have a high chance of not being directly related to what's going on. Because she's experiencing the looping over and over again because of her mortal. Like they're doing this because she's getting mortaled. And it very well just could have been like, because we kept seeing, like, she predicted the future and the events kept happening the same. So it very well could just be that they're just destined to happen, and they may not be directly involved. But it's kind of hard to really say. Your last training day, and then you officially begin. I don't know if you were still getting to listen, or whether you had to tune out. Basically, everyone's admitting to having, like, dreams of what's clearly their past lives, in case you had to tune out. Not Willie, sadly. So far we've basically referenced, like, every chapter Willie, basically, then. Imagine what's going through her head right now. She's like, oh my goodness, so much shit is happening differently right now. More stuff. More donations. It's kind of interesting seeing so much overlap from all the timelines. It's like everyone just like, yes, he's going to do so great at this. Just imagine how awesome he's going to be. The best of the best. Wonder if there's a Famicom in there. Actually, what year did the Famicom come out? That might be still too old. Oh yeah, that's way too early still. I'm like, I would think it'd be like the late 80s at the soonest, but... Oh wait, no, that's... Wait, that's the wrong thing now. Wait. Came out 1983. So yeah, early 80s. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, like... It should be like somewhere around the 80s, so yeah, they're a little bit before that. A little bit before the time, so yeah, not quite there. Yeah, because I'm like, I think the 70s are too early for that. I mean, obviously Japan got it before us, but that's also a good question, actually. What is the exact year of the Atari Clash? The Atari Clash is considered 1983 to 1985. Yeah. So yeah, that all lines up. Yeah, because I'm like, yeah, I think 70s is too early, so yeah. So they're just a few, like, years off. Those poor children. They never get to experience Mario, but brutally die horrifically. They never get to experience Mario. And you see, this is helping with Chapter 1 paranoia. So I'd say Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 5. Those have been avoided. Technically, Chapter 4's, no, 3. Chapter 3's events haven't been avoided yet because the uncle's still alive. So, long as he doesn't move back to the town, that's not a problem. So, at the current situation, it's avoided, but... And Chapter 4 was in the past, which, like I said, it's probably best to consider Chapter 4 happens in all the timelines. I don't think there's anything in it that's, you know, strictly a certain timeline. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. That does explain why the twin sister was into school and everything. She realized her promise. She strained up her mental brain. Man, like, it was so different seeing how she thought about shit in Chapter 5. Holy fuck. I really hope she purged all that shit from her brain in this line. Because, good lord, that's a terrible person that was. Like, holy shit. Why an auction, though? Such a weird thing that happened from all this. It's interesting she's not having a problem in the village anymore either. Okay, so I guess she still lives out of town now. Hmm. Yeah, we already had the doll event thing happen. Like, I don't think... Like, the only scenario I can see happening, like, now would be the events of Chapter 4. Because as far as we know, the uncle is still alive, so... Unless these two secretly murdered them all in the background. Yeah, I think it's safe to say she had a dream about the fucking Chapter 5-2 timeline. Wonder if he's met the camera guy in this timeline yet. I'm wondering if they'll be killed still, too. And see, even if the mortals aren't connected to what's going on, somebody still murdered them. And that should still obviously be very concerning. Uh-oh. So we met the camera guy. Suspicious. Global warming. I hope we won't die yet. See, I think right now, the other mortals may or may not have anything to do with what's going on, Colin. I think it's more important to focus on who's murdering the nurse and the camera guy, and whether that person is the same person murdering her. It's a prediction. It's definitely gonna be different. Whether it's gonna be good, that's a toughie. Getting hyped. I don't know about me though. I mean, obviously a lot of things are happening differently, but like I said, there's a chapter 8, so it's kind of hard to think this is all going to end happily ever after, you know what I mean? So how many days are there? Did we change Kyoto's again? Yeah, we did. Such a different timeline. Ugh, I hate humid nights. It's so hot. I'm 100 years old in my mind! Then she gets drunk and murders everyone. Oh, habit is it? Not sure if that should be concerning. My public drunken disorder. What is this L4 thing? It's time to toast to the moon for a successful day that hopefully doesn't involve murder. Now, here's a question. Why doesn't she have her follow the camera guy in one of the timelines and finds out, like, who's murdering him? I get they can't see past when she dies, but obviously she's lived past his death. Why can't she get excited for screaming at passing cars? Where the fuck did that come from? But why passing cars though? That's like, you know, we talk about alcohol here. Where did cars come from? I mean, it might be too early to expect a miracle, but I'm not sure if I want to Google that, because I don't remember him saying that other word. I just remember him saying L4. I feel like if I Google that, that might ruin something, so I'm not going to Google that. Cheers. Oh, okay. I was just like, I don't want to accidentally, because I'm going to assume whatever she has might be very important, so... No, don't accept that. I mean, if it's been hundreds of years and this happens, there clearly is a chance of something. Despair. That's the thing I've been pondering for, like, so, like, when did I even start this, actually? Why? Everyone loves her. I just I don't get it. I mean, most of them think she's a god. Like I said, somebody who hates the religion would likely be somebody who would target her, but... I mean, there's people who research it, but nobody, like, hates it to that degree, or at least shows it to that degree. And yet, you die here. think somebody would like, well, we need to call the authorities or something. But would that be a regretful move? Keeps committing suicide. Why does he commit suicide? Such a confusing thing. Wait, whoa, what? Whoa, wait a fucking minute. This is the first I'm hearing about this. I thought they said, like, the fucking male was whole guardian. What? Wait a minute. Back up. I feel like we've been just fed something that could be very crucial here. I mean, I would like to think that's probably a foreign detail, though. But look how much has changed. What are they testing? It's interesting she doesn't like him. Now is she red herring us, or that is the thing? I mean, he is really fucking buffed for a camera guy. But is that really the case? Exactly. That is the thing. I have thought about every possible person's possible reason for wanting her dead, with the knowledge that we know, and I don't know anything. The only one that we truly may have some suspicion of is with the Doctor, and today it's really kind of hammering in on Doctor's suspicion. Because the beginning of the game, like, really brought up some interestingly odd things, and it's just hammering in more of that right now. But still, even then, it doesn't really come off as a reason to want her dead. But he's doing something that's kind of sus. Oof. I can be a bomb too. Is she trying to say when she dies that whole volcanic thing happens? So they're basically saying if she dies, the eruption happens. So the eruption is triggered from her dying. So perhaps if the... Let's say the person knows us. They know that her death will trigger a mass widespread of death. maybe it's not even directly related to her then. Maybe it's more related to targeting someone else possibly and just using her as a weapon. I've thought about that. I don't know, it seems like too convenient of an excuse. That seems like the kind of thing you would do, like introducing a random villain, but like, ha ha! It was me all along! Mr. Smuguffin murdering everyone! And you didn't know it all! I just made up some random shit. So even when she went into hiding, she died. Survived until July. So that meant they actually had to find her. So it's probably safe to say it's not supernatural, or at least not some divine kind of stuff. Like, yes, I know exactly where she is with my mind powers, because, I mean, it obviously took them longer to find her. Night, night. Yeah. But maybe there's potential this time. Please be a break. How long has it been? Holy fuck, it's been 2 hours. The two of us. Just the two of us. Just... Alright. Anyway. Let's go ahead and save. And I gotta take a quick break here. Ooh.